I thought these problems were a thing of the past, but unfortunately I was wrong. Today we're talking about ongoing quality control issues with some new vinyl releases. Hi, my name is Frank. Welcome back to Sundays on Channel 33 RPM, your channel for vinyl gear and more. Now, this issue of quality control with some new releases reared its ugly head with me recently because of this album. This is the new release from Ozzy Osbourne, Ordinary Man. And this is not a critique of this album, of the music. I think this is fantastic. It's probably Ozzy's best album, I think, since Osmosis. However, I've had no shortage of problems trying to find a good pressing with this record. And again, this speaks to a much larger problem. So first, let me tell you the story about this album. I pre-ordered it from Amazon. I was super excited when it arrived on the day of release. I brought it home. I was going to listen to it that Friday night, and I did. I unsealed the record, and there was a big scuff right on the record. Actually, there are multiple scuffs on both sides. I'll show you a picture here. It's kind of hard to get pictures of these scuffs, black vinyl, a camera, whatever. But it was really, really bad. I thought I could look past it, and I threw the record on the turntable. And the surface noise, the snap, crackle, and pop was absolutely unbearable. So I thought, is this just me? I posted some pictures of this on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and you guys weighed in. And unfortunately, many people are having issues with this particular release and the quality of the pressing. Let me just pull up my phone here, and we'll go over some of the comments I got. This comment came from Glenn Jackson. He wrote, came home to check my copy and it was cracked. Had a chip and a scratch straight out of the sleeve. And this one comes from Infectious Groove Podcast, again talking about the Ozzy record. And he wrote, I picked one up and it's got the bad scuffing too. Haven't had a chance to spin it yet, but I'm really scared now. This comment comes from Tim Sullivan. He's not speaking about the Ozzy album in particular, but in general he says, I return about 30% of new vinyl. It's either super crackly, warped, or the hole is off center. These are all problems I encounter all the time as well. He says, this is priced as a premium product, yet the quality control does not exist. Sadly, I think the bulk of the market is the Crossley Brigade who won't notice or care. Here's another fellow. He ordered the Ozzy Osbourne Ordinary Man. This is Tat 2 Dale, but he ordered the picture disc. He said, my picture disc finally arrived from Amazon, and it is getting sent back as well. The first song played well until about a minute and a half, and then the sound level dropped. I've had enough. And just picked up the CD. Okay, here's Elton's Man 5150. He says, I'm sending mine back as well. Terrible thumping sound every revolution. I'm gonna come back to that in a second. Great album, terrible pressings. Amen, brother. I got a lot of these. I won't read them all, but let's just see if I can find one more here. But I ended up, again, talking about Ozzy, I ended up taking this copy back to the seller. The record was so warped that 1/3 of it wasn't touching my platter. Totally unacceptable. Was also scuffed up. Too many issues with it not to take it back. Okay, one more. I can't resist this one. This is from Brandon. Again, talking about Ozzy. And there's themes here. This is going to sound familiar. He says, anyone else have noisy vinyl? It sounds like there is a heartbeat throughout both sides of the entire album in the background. It's adding an even eerier listening experience to this new Ozzy album. I know it's not supposed to be there. So, here's what I weigh back in. So I returned that first Ozzy album I got with a scuff and the surface noise. I got a second one. Amazon, they're usually good. They're really quick to send me a replacement copy. I opened it, and this is this copy. I opened it, and hold on, where's my record? I'm back. I was just spinning it. I opened it, and the record actually looks really nice. There's no scuffs. There's no obvious warps. I was pretty happy with this one. I put it on the turntable, and lo and behold, I have that weird thumping noise that the viewer in that last comment was talking about. Every time it goes around, at first I said it's like a whoosh whoosh, but it's not really. It's more like a thump thump, thump thump. Every revolution, thump thump, thump thump, thump thump. So I thought it might have been a misaligned center hole that was kind of causing this. it wasn't. The record was perfectly centered. I thought it was a warp. It wasn't a warp. The record wasn't warped. Yet this weird thump thump sounding went on. So I'm returning the second copy as well. It's gone back to Amazon. I'm gonna give it one more chance. I'm waiting for my third copy, but if this one doesn't work out, I am definitely reverting to the CD. Now, as I said at the top, I don't want to pick on Ozzy necessarily. I'm reading that a lot of people got wonderful pressings of this album. They are not having any issues with it whatsoever. But again, it speaks to this larger issue of quality control. I'll give you another example. And recently I bought that new Steel Panther album. That was horrible. I've never heard so much surface noise on a record before. That one went back as well. Now, I think part of the problem with the Ozzy record and what's causing some of the surface noise anyway is the fact that the album, the audio is really low. The album was cut really low in volume. So you kind of have to turn up your receiver to hear it, and as a result you're picking up probably more surface noise. I think that has something to do with it, but that doesn't explain the scuffs or this weird thump heart beating thing or any of the other problems that people are complaining about. And as I've said, I'm often forgiving about this. Like one of the more common pressing issues I have with records is the center spindle is too tight. That happens all the time. I kind of live with it and make that work. But I'm getting really tired of it, and I am really kind of starting to wonder what's going on. Obviously, this is an issue at the record pressing plants, and whether they're not inspecting these records properly or who knows what the problem is. But I think many of us are getting tired of it. And really, for me, this is the bottom line. We're paying a premium price for a premium product, and we should expect a premium product. We worked hard for our money, and really at this point, in many cases, we're not getting value for our hard-earned dollars. Dear record companies, please do something about this. If there was one item that may burst this vinyl bubble, it may be this inconsistent record quality pressing issue. All right, guys, let me know. Have you had these sorts of problems with new vinyl pressings? Let's lay all our cards on the table. Let's complain in the comments. Let's get this off our chest, and hopefully some of these record pressing plants, some of the record companies are going to listen. Again, it's not all record, it's not all release, it's not all record companies, but it's enough where it's concerned. Let's chat in the comments below. Remember, if you enjoyed today's episode, leave a quick thumbs up. Otherwise, dear 33ers, I hope each and every one of you has a fantastic weekend. Until next time, keep on spinning.